Romelu Lukaku, oh, Romelu Lukaku, oh. Here we go. From Fabrizio Romano. Romelu Lukaku is Roma's new striker. He will land in Rome tomorrow with Dan Fredkin bringing him personally and piloting that plane. Lukaku has seen more places than a travel vlogger in these last years because after Milan and after London, his next location is Rome. His next adventure lays in Rome, and yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I've always said this since the beginning. I am stunned by, first of all, by how quick this deal went through. Because yes, it's the last day of the transfer window, and Chelsea opened up soon. But you know, if you compare how much time we spent on a player like Scamacca and the time we spent on a player like Lukaku, you look at the two clubs we were negotiating with. One was West Ham, one was Chelsea. I am stunned. I am stunned about this deal, and I can't wait on Saturday to shout his name. Yes, I'll be back in the stadium cheering for Roma on Friday. Friday, early kickoff. He's obviously not going to play, but the entertainer, is going to make us shout his name. So I can't wait to shout it. And it's going to be captured in the Stadium Vlog. So set a reminder, because Stadium Vlogs are going to be back starting from this Friday. Lukaku's done. And look, I mean, the one thing which I'll say, which we've understood, we've understood it with Mourinho, we've understood it with Dybala, and now we've understood it with Romelu Lukaku, is very simple. When Dan Fredkin flies a plane to a destination to unlock a transfer move, there is no way out. It's like a house burning down. There is no way out. And this is how he works. He doesn't speak, but he provides the facts. And I think, again, I've said it many times, I think the way they rule can bring some controversies. But on the other hand, it also brings a lot of advantages. The big disadvantage is obviously during the season, when we have some episodes, some events which go against us, like the referees. We need the biggest name of this club to speak, and that is something which has to change. But regarding the transfer window, this is the best policy out there. Quiet, don't speak, because what will happen will happen. Just be patient, and that's what we've learned, because it's the Fredkin's second year, and in the space of 2 years, they've given us 3 surprises. So yeah, I mean, look, just to read you Fabrizio Romano's Here We Go. He says, there we have it. Here we go, AS Roma are set to sign Romelu Lukaku on loan, deal completed. Lukaku will travel to Rome on Tuesday afternoon. No mandatory clause, he will return to Chelsea in June 2024. The loan fee is a little bit higher than 5 million. It was agreed with Chelsea today. The salary coverage in excess of 7.5 million for 10 months. So, look, I mean, fair play to him, because people, Inter fans, Juventus fans, and all of these fans from, you know, his past teams and all of that kept saying Lukaku's a money merchant. All Lukaku cares about is money. Well, that may be the case with Inter. It's definitely not the case with Roma, because he earned 12 million at Chelsea, and he decided to lower his wages to 7.5 million to come and favour this move. So I wouldn't necessarily call him money merchant, because he's accepted to have a wage cut, something which nowadays is very, very hard to see, especially with the majority of these big names being attracted by even more money in their pocket and going to Saudi. So the fact that he's always said no to Saudi offers, the fact that he has accepted a wage cut to favour this Roma move, because he knows, and I believe that today when he landed from Brussels to London to meet in person with the Fredkins to try and convince him to accept this wage cut, Dan definitely told him that he had to take a wage cut, describing as the financial fair play situation. Look, I think one thing which is very important about this Lukaku deal is one thing which which is very important. You know, these last transfer days have brought a lot of enthusiasm to this city, to this fan base, because getting a player like Lukaku, is big for a team like Roma, and we will see a lot of enthusiasm tomorrow when he will land in Rome. To the extent that Dan Fredkin is waiting for the government, and the kind of the lawyer and all of that to tell him where he needs to land the plane to avoid just an outbreak of fans and block the city, because obviously it's related to football, but when you have such a move which is going to bring a lot of enthusiasm, it will end up blocking the entire city. And there are ordinary people which need to go to the airport to take flights and can't miss the flights. So apparently the last rumor is that Dan Fredkin is waiting for the final okay from the Italian government to tell him where to land, because we gotta avoid blocking the city, and there are expected a lot of fans are expected to be there at the airport when he lands. And this is very good, because enthusiasm helps, especially, one of the reasons which can help this team lift from this initial black hole of the season is with enthusiasm. And I am sure that on Friday we will play against our death against Milan. One, because we can't lose more points. Two, because Mourinho's back sitting on the bench. And three, because the stadium not only will be full for the game, but it will also be full with the Lukaku enthusiasm. And it's great to see, but we can't let these transfer enthusiastic days trigger the reality of what's happening with the team. Because at the end of the day, we lost some crucial points in the first two games of the season. And, at the end of the day, Roma isn't about transfer moves. Roma's about playing games, winning games, getting the 3 points whenever we can, and playing to the maximum of our level. And that's not what is currently happening, because we've played 2 terrible games against 2 teams which we have to beat with the team we have. So this transfer market enthusiasm is great, but don't forget that the season has started. And, the season doesn't start when we want it to start. The season doesn't start after game week 7, because we gotta adapt to the new season. The season starts from game week 1, and we've already bottled 2 big chances. So I hope that this enthusiasm will also pave its way to Friday's game, because it's a crucial one. It's a massive game. If we lose that game, top 4 becomes, I'm not saying impossible because the season just started, but we need to climb an early mountain to get into that top 4 race if we lose on Friday too. So yeah, Lukaku's done. We've spoken a lot about Lukaku in these last days. Now, the big question is our transfer window done, or is it going to continue? And it's a very good question, because as much as people would say we need a defender, we need a goalkeeper, realistically speaking, after signing Romelu Lukaku and making a financial sacrifice, I highly doubt we will get both a defender and a goalkeeper. And as we said yesterday in yesterday's stream, it's time to make a decision. Do we get a defender or do we get a goalkeeper? Question to everybody in the chat. As much as we need 2 players, you can only get 1. Do you get a goalkeeper or do you get a defender? I need everybody to let me know what you guys think. Everybody pop in the live chat, either defender or goalkeeper, because it's very interesting to see what the fan base and the community thinks. My answer is a goalkeeper. My answer is a goalkeeper because as much as we need a defender, I don't think it's a priority anymore. Goalkeeper is more important. Goalkeeper is more important because our goalkeeper costs us too many points. And in these last hours, there are a few names which we've been linked with when it comes to the goalkeepers. The one which we've spoken about yesterday is Hugo Lloris, who has been offered to us, but the Fredkins have said no. They are not interested in him, and I don't blame them. 36 years old. 36 years old, coming from a few months that he hasn't been training, and all of these things. No, no. I'd rather keep Rui Patricio than sign Hugo Lloris. First of all, because Rui Patricio earns less than what Lloris does, and second reason, because at the end of the day, Rui Patricio and Lloris, I don't see it as a massive improvement. So the new names that you've popped up in these last hours, one of them is David De Gea. Again, we're going to speak about this in a second. The other one is Vladimiro Falcone from Lecce. Unpopular opinion. If I had to choose from the two, I'd go with Falcone. 100%. I wouldn't mind David De Gea, but I would go with Falcone out of the two because he's an incredible goalkeeper. He's younger than David De Gea. And on top of everything, he's a diehard Roma fan. When they won against Lazio in the last game week, in game week 1, he scratched his balls in front of those Lazio fans. That's what you want to see. Imagine him in a derby. Now, again, I'm not saying we have to buy him because he's a fan. I've said this many times. We don't have to transform this team into a passion merchant squad. But he is a great goalkeeper. And adding on to that, he loves us. He's a Roma fan. So out of the two, I'd go with him. But obviously, Lecce need to save themselves from relegation. They've started the season well. 3 points against Lazio, 1 point against Fiorentina. They won't sell him easily. But also, I would say that with 6, 7, 8 million, he will leave because Lecce need money. They're one of those teams which would and need to prioritize money over keeping big players because of stabilizing the incomes, avoiding relegation, and all of that. So I think Falcone is tough, but not tough. Apparently, some people are saying that Falcone is more of an option for next summer. And again, David De Gea is an offer. Is an option. I've read us being linked with him. Problem is, wages are high, and I just can't see us, after having signed a player who earns quite a lot of money and will become one of the top earners in this team. I just can't see us getting David De Gea on a high wage as well. I just can't see it happen. Again, last week, if you would have asked me about Lukaku, I would have said it's a dream. So I'm not excluding David De Gea coming as a goalkeeper. But his wages are high, and let's not, now that we've signed Lukaku, let's not forget what our financial fair play sanctions against us are all about. The amortization of a player, which is I believe it's the sum of the amount of money we spend plus his wages, something to do with that. We have a fixed budget of amortizations in our squad which we can't go over, and signing Lukaku with 7.5 million as wages and a potential David De Gea, even if he has a wage cut, he will earn 8, 7.5, 8, and all of that. I just can't see it happen. I would get De Gea without a doubt. He's had he's made a few errors in his past season at Man United, but he's a top goalkeeper. He's a top goalkeeper. He's better than Rui Patricio. He's got that experience. Spanish national team a few years back. Played in a massive team like Man United. So obviously it's a yes for me. I'd rather Falcone, but yeah. Another name is Montipò, which is the goalkeeper we faced 2 days ago against Verona. That goalkeeper isn't a bad goalkeeper. That goalkeeper it's similar to Falcone, minus the Roma fan part. He is very similar goalkeeper to Falcone. Young, agile, good player. But again, same discussion as Lecce. Verona need to fight for relegation. So they are not going to let him go very easily. Because they've started it. Verona 4 points is horror to our eyes. 6 points. Verona on top of the table is horrific, but they are going to crumble down, and they are going to need him. So But again, I'd love any of these goalkeepers, which we named, is a massive upgrade on Rui Patricio. Rui Patricio, the thing with Rui Patricio is that I think, again, he's not terrible, because again, you look at the situation, and we've played with Rui Patricio for the past 3 seasons. One of them we won a Conference League with. One of them we reached a Europa League final with. So Rui Patricio isn't a horrific goalkeeper. The problem with Rui Patricio is that he's finished. And the second problem with Rui Patricio is that eventually he will have to be replaced. So the sooner we get the replacement, the better. You know, Rui Patricio, this is going to be his last season. And I know Mourinho really likes him. So the big question which some of you may ask is, let's say we sign a potential Falcone in these last days of the transfer window and don't sell Rui Patricio. Are we all sure that Falcone would be our first goalkeeper? I am not sure, because Mourinho loves Rui Patricio. Mourinho has staple players in this team which he will not remove from the starting 11. So yes, all of us have acknowledged the fact that Rui Patricio's finished. I'm not convinced, even if we get a young goalkeeper like Falcone, I'm not convinced Mourinho will pick Falcone over Rui Patricio. I'm really not convinced. But again, apparently Sky Sports yesterday did say that in order for us to buy a new goalkeeper, Rui Patricio needs to leave. Because this Lukaku deal was a big sacrifice, so you gotta balance things out. So in order for a goalkeeper to leave, according to Sky Sports, Rui Patricio needs to leave. Where would Rui Patricio go? Who would buy Rui Patricio is the big question. In Italy, no team would buy him. In the Premier League, no team would buy him. Maybe in the Bundesliga, some relegation sides, I have no idea. Maybe in the Spanish team, maybe in his own country, Portugal. That, I think, is a viable offer. I think a team like, Sparta Braga can easily get Rui Patricio, and I think he'd do pretty well. Even a team like, all of those teams we faced in pre-season, I think Rui Patricio would be a perfect shout for them. We won't and we can't ask a lot of money for Rui Patricio. So yeah, because he's old, he's coming from a few bad performances. His contract almost expires, so we will never be asking more than 5 million for Rui Patricio. But 5 million can get you De Gea on a free. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm expecting one last signing. I just don't and can't say if it's gonna be a defender or a goalkeeper. I don't know, because I am with the idea that Mourinho loves Rui Patricio, and both of them are Portuguese and all of that. Yes, Saudi's another big take for Rui Patricio. Yeah, you're right. Saudi could be a solution. But yeah, his wages are massive. So I think even a little Portuguese side can get Rui Patricio. His wages aren't massive. He earns around 2-3 million. Jesse Lingard in the chat. No, keep Jesse Lingard out of this team. Respect to him and all of his past. Great player in his prime, but no. Right, Simon, I'm disappointed that we haven't added an option to buy Lukaku, because if he banks goals, Chelsea will make it very difficult for us to buy. I agree, but Chelsea, even if Lukaku scores 20-25 goals this season, I don't think Chelsea are going to buy him back. He's out of their project now. They are going to ask for money, but I don't know. The fact that we've got Lukaku is already big, so I'm not complaining whatsoever. People are asking if I'm going to go to the airport tomorrow. You see, the thing is, I want to go, but I have a list of things a list of reasons of why I don't want to go. The first one is, I live in the complete opposite direction of where that airport is, and I still don't drive, so God knows how I reach Ciampino Airport. Second reason is, I've just thought about this a few minutes ago before starting this live stream. There are gonna be fanatics which are gonna arrive there at least 5 hours before he arrives. And all of these fanatics fans are gonna obviously occupy the area where Lukaku's gonna come out of. And I'm not planning to go there 5 hours before. So if I arrive later, I probably won't see anything. Probably won't see anything. I probably won't even see his bald head. So, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to do. Plus, all of my friends are still on holiday. And I don't want to go by myself. If I can find someone, I'll consider it. And I do want to film a video of going there and all of that, a mini vlog. But again, I just don't think. I'm just worried I'm gonna go there, waste time, and not see anything. Because expect thousands of fans tomorrow at the airport. Expect 1,000 fans minimum. Simo, did you pay actual dollar for that haircut? Yeah, it's not great. I have to be honest with you. I preferred the old one. But I just wanted short hair because it's still so hot here in Rome. Sweating like mad. Anyways, I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Lukaku's gonna arrive tomorrow. Send the link of this channel with your families and friends. If you've already subscribed, get them to subscribe. It's a road to 10k. Every subscriber counts. Smash the like button in this video and Lukaku scores 25 goals. It's as easy as that. So before leaving, before going to dinner, to breakfast, to bed, smash the thumbs up and turn on the bell notification. Because starting from this Friday, stadium vlogs are going to be back. And you do not want to miss Lukaku's introduction on Friday at the Olimpico. Talk to you soon. We'll see if something happens on goalkeeper defender fronts. But as of now, enjoy Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku. Sergio Ramos. Not bad. Bit old, but not bad. Talk to you soon. Take care. See you out.